And we are live, it looks like. Okay, let me just scrape this a little bit. Oh, we are live, it looks like. I had to stop. I was visiting somebody else. Um, I had to stop. I had to put on a sweater so that I could show you something I had created, and then I had to um, angle the camera correctly because I'm using my laptop. Hey, Granny G! Yay! So, this is my diagonal moss stitch sweater, which I still need to publish the pattern for. I had some really good suggestions that I just need to incorporate into the pattern and then publish it. I will do it today, as God is my witness. I will do it today or die trying. That is what I'm going to say. Anyway, so this is a sweater of mine that I love dearly. It's green and gray. So it's got these, let me just show you a little bit. It's got these diagonal green and gray stripes. And then the sleeves are horizontal green and gray stripes. And I will publish this pattern. The green is Lion Brand Feels Like Butter. The gray is Lion Brand Pound of Love. And so I think they work well together, don't you? I loved doing this sweater. I love wearing it. It feels nice and warm and soft to the touch. I love this sweater. And, if I do not get this up on Ravelry before the end of the day, you are all invited to come and beat me soundly about the head and neck. Hey, Carrot Boo. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Jackie. Glad to see all of you. Uh, Bada. Or, well, depending upon where you are, you could say ba. Because, I love any kind of British or English or UK entertainment. Hey, Roberta. So, I love to say things like ba. And one time I was driving, I was giving a ride to a friend to when I was going to one of these retreats that I do. It was not a yarn retreat. It was before I picked up the hook. But it was a friend of mine who was an English immigrant. I think he had come from London or the London area. So we stopped at a diner for lunch, and I ordered typically, a burger and probably a soda. And the waitress asked him what he wanted. And he said, I'll have a glass of water. And she said, what? And he said, water. And she said, what? And he said, oh, water. I'll have water. Give me some water. Because you know how we are. But it was funny. A glass of water. Anyway. I might not be saying it right, but it's okay. So anyway, what are you all up to? What's on your hook? What's in your cup? Everything. Um, so I, for probably a week now, I have been working or struggling with a sweater. with some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful yarn that came from Carrie the Yarny Elephant. I hope you all know her. I think that Nightbot will tell you all about, will give you Carrie's link at some point today. Um, but I got this gorgeous pink 100% wool yarn. It's a little rough to the touch, but that's okay. So I was making this gorgeous sweater, and I started out making it for a friend of mine who loves pink. And then I got going and I'm going, I love this yarn. I want to make it for myself. Well, then I learned I didn't have enough yarn for a David size sweater. So I have to back up and frog the whole thing and make an Anne size sweater because my friend Anne is a small woman. She's like 5 foot nothing, and probably she says she has like a 34-inch bust, but might be smaller, because we've all gained weight during the pandemic, haven't we? Oh, Diet Dr. Pepper. Yum. I drink more soda than I should do. I honestly, I do. I should drink more water. I love to drink iced tea, but I grew up drinking iced tea with saccharin, so that's probably going to kill me too. But something's going to kill me, whatever it is. Something's going to kill me in the end. So, yeah, I'm 59 years old. I'm not that worried. I mean, where is it? This one spot? I have to get that looked at as soon as I get some sort of health insurance again. My grandfather was a tobacco farmer, and he had lung cancer and skin cancer, and both had metastasized. And that's what took him in the end. My own father, I think it was a combination of things as well. My mother, she was taken to the hospital after a fall, and I think it was an infection that she acquired in the hospital that took her. You know, something is gonna take me, and whenever it happens, that's okay. I have I've lived a life, certainly, and, I don't I mean, I do have goals still, but I don't have any kind of goals that will make me miserable if I don't meet them, if you know what I mean. So, something's gonna take me. It's not gonna be today or tomorrow, knock on wood, but, you know, when it happens, it happens. There was a time when I wanted to make it happen myself, and I have spoken about this before. Um, I am not in that place now, so please don't worry, anybody. But there was a time when I was in that place. So, that's where we are. Anyway, looks like we have 9 people in the room, if you can trust um, StreamYard. Um, by the way, I want to try something. Hold on a second. So I'm just playing around with StreamYard as we're talking right now. So keep talking, if you please. Well, what I should, well, now I clicked a button and I get the beach ball that spins and spins and spins and spins and spins. Now I get the directory with nothing in it. Okay, there we go. Now I have to decide what I want to use. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm playing around with StreamYard and not really paying attention to the chat right now. Annoying beach ball from my MacBook. And in truth, I do work it too hard. And of course, now I can't go back to see the comments that are going. Okay, let's look at that. Well, I don't know if it's going to work or not. Let's find out. Anyway, so what have I missed? Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thumbs are good. Jackie, your niece had a baby boy. Wonderful news. Hey, Maribel. Anyway, let's see. Okay, what I'm going to do here. So, There's the link if anybody wants to come up. I haven't even spoken about the topic for today, which is it's project management. Do y'all want to talk about that or just chat? Frankly, I'd rather just chat. I used to be a project manager in the IT world and I hated it. I hated it. But I learned some useful guidelines and tools. Um, but I just hated the job. It was just not right for me. And I have friends who do it and do it well, and it's right for them. It's just not right for me. Need to wet my whistle. So what do y'all want to talk about? Oh, hey, Shonda. Mm, exactly, Granny D. I don't manage much either. I should be a better manager of my own stuff, but I'm not. In fact, I was thinking um, of going to Dollar Tree and getting a whole bunch of those storage containers that you can get for like, well, $1 to at least add some semblance of organization to this room. I mean, over here, you can't see it, but I'm pointing to it. I have a bunch of yarn in different boxes and crates and bins and things. But over here, I also have like envelopes, I have gadgets, I have God only knows what over there. So that needs organization. Uh, do you know what I really need? A house of my own. But that's another thing that I'm not sure I'm going to see very soon. But boy, would I like it. Anyway, just a minute ago, I put up the um, link for joining me up here. Hey, Cami. Snow days. Wow. Because you're in Michigan. Yeah, it's very snowy there, isn't it? And we get, I hear that there are more storms coming, but just this morning I looked right now. I have no idea where my phone is, but I looked at the forecast on my phone's weather app, and here in coastal North Carolina, it doesn't look like it's going to be a bad week weather-wise. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Granny, yes, you were talking about going to IKEA. I love IKEA. We used to go to IKEA in Piscataway, New Jersey. Um, and I would walk in there thinking, oh, I just need one thing, and come out with $100 or $200 worth of stuff. So yeah, IKEA is fun. And actually, I do want, there's a space on the other side of the room, right over there. Can't you see it? I'm pointing at it. Um, right now, there's a short filing cabinet, but that could be placed somewhere else, and I could put a narrow bookcase there for a start of a yarn wall. I hope. Then again, I could put a short bookcase over there. I don't know. It all depends upon my sister's mood. Because technically, well, actually, legally, the house is still in our mother's name. She died like 4 years ago. So I never looked at the will. I know where it is, and I should. But I think it is my sister's house, and I am living here by the grace of God and, by my sister's charity. So I'm looking where else in this room. Oh, where I could fit a yarn wall. There's a bookcase right behind me, and I mentioned, like, taking the books out of that because nobody looks at them. So I mentioned taking the books out of this bookcase behind me. I'm putting yarn there instead. And my sister like had a cow, and it's like, it's still my house. And I'm going, whatever. Because our older sister has more than once suggested to her that she just boot me out and put me on the street. Because, well, various reasons. Mostly because, and this might be a surprise to you, but I drink. So, our older sister has suggested to my immediate sister. Our older sister is a half sister because my mother was married to someone else before she met our dad. So she's like 16 years older than I am, which makes her pretty much older than God now. She's 75, or she will be on March 3rd. Why do I remember her birthday? I'm trying to forget her completely. Anyway. Granny Square blouse? Tell me about the Granny Square blouse, Jackie. Tina, I hope that that's my sister's thinking. Honestly, also, I think she needs me. She's on disability. She has her back causes her tremendous amounts of pain, so she's on pain killers all the time. So I think that she needs me. And she probably wouldn't admit it, but I probably won't leave her until she no longer needs me. I can't believe I just said that, but it's true. My Granny D, my older sister, lives in Arizona because her children went there quite a few years ago for a job. Her daughter and son-in-law, my niece and I guess nephew-in-law. And now they have two grown kids who are out of high school. Can you believe that? Uh, but they're in the Phoenix area. I have not seen them since my dad's funeral. I do not know whether they came for my mother's funeral because I wasn't there for my mother's funeral because I was very sick myself. I did not know she had passed until after the funeral. Um, anyway, so they were in Arizona. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to show you this Happy Mail that I got. Look at these yarns. Isn't this gorgeous? These come from Eve Chambers Textiles. You can find her online. But I've mentioned before, and I think Nightbot has reminded you that I am involved in a crochet along. Well, it's actually a knit along slash crochet along that my friend Gary Boston is doing. And I think he's doing a separate one each quarter. And so, first quarter of this year features my crochet pattern. These are the yarns. One of the yarn options featured for the knit pattern. I haven't decided what to do with them. They feel so soft. And the colors are just amazing, don't you think? One thought I had was, I mean, they're meant to all go together into the same creation. The knit along is a shawl that requires 3 different colors. If you do the crochet along is my Alicia shawl, which is on Ravelry. And I'm um, donating all of the sales proceeds from the Alicia shawl to the cause, which is AIDS related. He does a tremendous amount of fundraising for AIDS, social services, and research. So anyway, but if you use this for one of my shawls, you're going to get a very well layered or yeah, a layered look. But one of the options that I thought of, I haven't made a decision, but one of the options I thought of was to triple strand this. It's all DK weight, triple strand, um, and make a cowl or something out of it. This is the one you're talking about, Granny D. It's got pinks and yellows. It's got a little bit of green and blue. It's perfectly gorgeous, I think. Oh, Nightbot just told you about the knit along, crochet along. You have to as far as I know, the only way to access the group itself is through Ravelry, unless he has since created a Facebook group or something. But what do you think of triple stranding these 3 to make one thing? Wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, let's see. Now, hey, Divergent, this was going to be a shawl, but I only had one hank in this color. So now it's a cowl. I didn't get cowls until I did this. Or you could call it a scarf, an odd-shaped scarf, whatever you want. I don't care. But if I did this, triple-stranded this, to make something like this, wouldn't that be gorgeous? I think I've published this pattern. This uses the Tunisian mesh stitch, which is basically, it's just a Tunisian simple stitch and a yarn over, and you skip one. I hope it was the party that was canceled and not the birthday, Jackie. I think I will make something like this out of this. I think it will be gorgeous. I'm turning into Crystal Bag a Day, smelling my yarn. It feels lovely against the skin. It looks beautiful. It's 100% merino wool, I think. 75% merino, 25% silk. Ooh. That's what they all are. So, I would highly recommend looking up Eve Chambers Textiles. You can find her on Google or whatever source you want to use. She's also on Instagram. She's in Ireland. And so this yarn came from Ireland. I'm going to cake it up today, and I think I will make something like this out of it. Because I also have these amazing Tunisian hooks. I have them all tied together because they have these like cables, Tunisian hooks that came to me as a gift from our dear friend Lori. And we all love Lori, don't we? So yeah, I think I will do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I have to look up the pattern. I can't remember whether I published that pattern already. Oh. Divergent doesn't sound sexy. Well, it does until I put it next to my face. But yeah, the silk merino stuff. Oh, excuse me. Ani, why? What else is going on, people? I'm gonna repost the link to come up if anybody wants to. So, I woke up this morning. I had like drainage. Well, I always say I have seasonal allergies every season. But I woke up this morning, I had this kind of drainage and a little bit of the kind of sore throat that you get from drainage, and my throat was a little gunky, and I'm going, I am not getting a cold. I am not getting a cold. I am not getting a cold. I refuse to get a cold. You cannot talk me into getting a cold. But it might be happening anyway. It's better than other things I could catch, you know. For the most part, I don't have colds very often anymore. I got them a lot more often when I was singing. And then, of course, I would like get like this chest cough, and coughing is deadly for singing because coughing is so abusive to your vocal cords, vocal folds. Divergent, exactly. Deny it until it proves otherwise. Yeah. I am not getting a cold. You will not talk me into getting a cold. So I don't know. I'll tell you what I'd like. I I was talking about this in Crafts by oh, I can't remember her name. Her name is Rose. Crafts by the Rose. I was in her room yesterday on the panel, and so I was talking about the dinner that I was going to make last night, and it turned out to be a perfectly scrumptious pot roast. And right now I'm thinking, boy, I could use some of those leftovers, because leftovers are better than the first day anytime you do something like that. I had gotten this like 2-pound sirloin roast at a reasonable price. I saw some in the store that were like $30, and I'm not going to pay that much for a roast. But yes, Crafts by the Rose. Exactly, Cami. I'm so bad at names. It's a wonder I can remember my own. Um, so I had intended to cut it into cubes and make a beef stew out of it, but I went the lazy route and just made a pot roast out of the whole thing, and it turned out well. The 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 meat was just fine. I would like it to have been a little more tender, but still it was just fine. Um, the seasoning was just fine. The vegetables were good. There were potatoes in there that were good. The gravy was delicious. Um, not over seasoned. Sometimes I do over season things. Um, but um, Granny, oh look, my background is working. Hooray! I can't hear you. You're on mute. Let me take you off mute. I can't hear you still. Okay, yeah, the symbol is saying that
I
you
was
are.
muted.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I didn't see that.
Look, my background is working. That's my
See, you just had to get me up here in the background popped on, right?
exactly. And you're wearing that hat that you were working on
I
with
got the
those
hat
amazing
done.
colors.
It
I
came
love
out
those
a lot
colors.
smaller than the other ones. I don't know why.
So,
I must not have counted something right, but it fits perfectly.
and
It's
say
just not
again,
quite as
what was the yarn that you used for that?
it was this new stuff that's way expensive for what it is.
Oh,
Recycled plastic into yarn, and it's $9.99. Oh my gosh, for 145 yards.
and it's a sort of thing that you feel like you should support, but still it's expensive.
Yeah, well now they got buy one get half off, but that's all the yarns. So, but that's still only 25% off, but better than nothing.
Mm.
And
Well,
I've got quite a bit. I could probably make some wristers out of this, maybe. Not anything fancy, but hey, that's what I do.
Make
Nothing
me a
fancy.
hat like the one you're wearing, and we'll be in business. But
I can't.
there's no. I've been saying I will not buy more yarn. I will not buy more yarn. I will not buy more yarn. And then, don't you know? Oh, hey, Gloria J. Bowman. Um, I had to buy, or I thought I had to buy one more skein for a project that I was doing.
My thing is, I gotta try all the new stuff when new yarns come out, and oh my gosh.
Well, I've never been a first adopter, whether it's technology or anything else.
Well,
So
I don't have to
I
be
can
first,
wait.
but I gotta be in there.
I can wait on that stuff, but I had to. I thought that I had to buy more yarn, so I ordered a skein, and I've got it on sale from Mary Maxim, and I had a code for free postage. So I wound up getting it a lot cheaper than I would have gotten the same yarn from Michael's or Joann's.
Yeah.
And then in the end, I found I didn't need that extra skein.
Wah wah.
Exactly. It goes back into my stash.
How many
So
yards does it have? Does it
it was
have
a
enough?
Lion Brand pound of love, so it's like 1,000 yards or
Well, I was
more.
gonna say if it's a lot, then you could always do a one skein wonder.
A one skein wonder. Yeah. Well, for me, one skein. I was talking earlier about this sweater I was doing with that gorgeous pink yarn that I got from Carrie the Yarny Elephant.
Mhm.
Hey, Catbird. And then I found out that I didn't have enough yarn for a David size sweater. So now I'm frogging the whole thing, and I'm
I've
going to
heard you
start
say you're making it for
completely
your friend
over
Anne.
for her. Anne, yes, you need to meet Anne. She's lovely, and she would love you.
Where does she live?
Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
next,
that's the one that you stay with?
she's the one I stay with when I go up there, and right now they're having their kitchen redone, and I find that so annoying because I want to go up there, but they can't have me until it's done. Because I also I want to cook for them.
Yeah.
They when I go up there, Anne is the first one who will tell you she's not a cook.
Now, did you say you know them from Pfeiffer or her?
Exactly, yeah. In fact, her husband was in the administration. Do you remember Richard Lafferty from the administration? I think he was in like the business office,
Mm,
advancement, alumni, something or other.
not
Anyway,
ringing any bells.
they got married and then he went to law school and now they're both pretty well off. So they're good friends to have.
Yeah.
Um, in addition to being perfectly lovely people, they are quite blessed.
Yeah.
Um, Jackie made homemade blueberry pancakes.
Yum.
Yum. Hey, Nana Donna. But yeah, so the next time I go up there, uh, I'll have to arrange some sort of a get together because I want you to meet Anne. Because Dion and Barbara and all of the friends we have in common, even though
Mhm.
we never knew each other. Um,
Did they know Anne?
well, yeah, they were. Dion, in fact, I think was the accompanist for Anne's senior recital.
Gotcha.
So, and I remember I was thinking about it just the other day because of some of the things that she sang. Um, boy, we had some good singers back then. And boy, has that music department
Calm down.
fallen since then.
That's
Oh
sad.
my gosh. I mean, part of me says if I ever won the lottery, I would want to try to help rebuild the music department, but I don't know if it's
Salvageable.
salvageable. I don't know. And that's it. It is what it is. That's a different conversation. But, I love Pfeiffer College.
Mm-hmm.
In many ways, Pfeiffer College saved me. So,
It did me too, and Lindsay saved me getting pregnant. And she wasn't the first, but she was my first baby. I had abortions before.
oh dear.
And not just one, but I nearly had a nervous breakdown after I had her, thinking, what have I done? About the others, because at the time I was just in trouble and it just couldn't be. That was my mindset. And I was all of
Well, sometimes
17 the first time, I think.
Sometimes you have to pull yourself together
Mm-hmm.
when you have to take care of someone else.
Right.
And
I was this party girl, but I put the brakes on when I got pregnant with her.
I think that's a part of life that I've missed out on. Having that responsibility for someone else where I had to take care of myself in order to take care of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've never been good at taking care of myself. But at the same time, there's a large part of me that feels like I would have failed that other person, whoever it would have been, and failed myself, and then would have been worse off. So I don't know. I mean, nobody knows.
You never know.
So, let's talk about puppies and look at that beautiful yarn. Yeah. Oh,
Nana Donna's got Cupcake. That's her puppy.
Cupcake. Oh, I want to see pictures of Cupcake. I have a Facebook group called, not surprisingly, Bearded Yarn Dudes, and I will always welcome puppy pictures. I will even allow kitten pictures, if you must.
He's a puppy that's not really a puppy. He's got a little age on him, maybe 5 or something. But I call all dogs puppies.
Well, yeah, our Cocker Spaniel is probably 12 by now. Nobody knows his real age, but he was like 10 or 11 when we got him, and his joints are not good. I mean, I've said before, the reason you don't see him on camera is because I can't pick him up and hold him in my lap because that causes him pain.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to cause him pain. No. Sometimes I will get down on the floor and just scratch his ears because he loves that. Mm-hmm. But I never know when I get down on the floor whether I'm going to get back up again.
Tell me about
it. Hey, Dana.
Hey, Dana.
But yes, yes, I love him. And they say that just the act of touching a dog has a health effect on you. It affects your blood pressure. I mean, even if you're not scritching behind his ears or stroking his back or something, just touching a dog has health benefits. So,
I can
I
believe it.
mean, sometimes I go into this automatic mode where, if he needs feeding, I'll feed him. If he needs putting out, I'll put him out. But then other times, oh, I ordered a ramp so that he can get up on the sofa, he can get up on the bed, either one of our beds, or wherever he wants. Well, he can't carry the ramp around himself. I'd have to do it for him. But I ordered this. It hasn't arrived yet, and I hope it's gonna arrive soon. But I needed that. Oh, hey, two OGs.
Antoinette.
Um, yeah, so I ordered this ramp, and I can't wait for it to come and see whether he can work with it just climbing up onto the bed. I know that the kitten would use it to climb up onto the bed. I have seen the kitten um, scooting under my bed before, and God only knows what's under there because I haven't cleaned that room in ages. But um, so I think the kitten would use it. The kitten is less scared of me now because originally the kitten was very wary, and when I came back from Black Mountain, um, like just after when I saw you in Salisbury that time,
Mhm.
um, I came home and I had I had left Charlotte early that day because it was a Tuesday and I knew that I was going to do one of these Tuesday lives. Um, so I got home probably 10 or 11 o'clock, and of course my sister wasn't up yet, um, because she has back issues and takes painkillers and stuff. Anyway, um, so and all of the doors were closed. And I thought that's strange because she doesn't like closed doors. Even if I'm in there naked changing, she'll knock on the door and say, "Why is the door
Oh my
closed?"
gosh.
And I'm going, "Because I'm changing. Go away."
How weird.
But I don't know. Family people are weird.
I
Um,
love my brother, but like I said, it's a good thing he's in the home place and I got this little mobile home back here and we get along just fine.
that would be the perfect situation
It is. It is. It has
because
been.
a mobile home would have enough space,
It's
and you could
just
be
right for one person.
just as independent as you want,
hmm
and still have a connection there.
Yeah.
We can't do that here. We're in like it's. They would probably call it something like a townhouse community, although it's all one level houses, garden homes, they might call it, or something. But they're all connected. They're all like condominiums, really.
Um,
Um, where and the HOA, don't get me started on them. They don't have a very clear idea on where their responsibility ends. Clearly, when I was in real estate, I learned that when you own a condominium, what you own is from the paint inside.
Hmm.
But the HOA doesn't seem to think that they own the outside of the building because they're not taking very good care of it. Anyway, so we can't have a trailer here. Both of my grandmothers, one of them lived for many, many years in a trailer, and another one lived for quite a few years in a trailer on their own land. My maternal grandmother's farmhouse is still in the family. I would like to acquire that house and either get a nice mobile home or build a tiny house there.
I like those tiny houses. Those are cute too.
Well, the first time I ever saw tiny houses, I thought
a lot of them have, stairs because space wise, and I can't do stairs.
I don't do stairs either. Okay, Nana Donna, I will check your messenger. Or check my messenger anyway.
She sent you a picture of cupcake.
That's what she says. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I would also love to use those grounds for a senior rescue dog sanctuary. I think that would be amazing because there's a standing barn there that can be used for kennels. And there's a substantial amount of land there. But it's in rural Columbus County. And Columbus County has seen bad times economically, let us say. And that has had its effects socially and health-wise as well. So I don't know. I'd still go live there anyway. If I had that house. If I win the lottery, I might buy it from my aunt because she owns it. Originally, when our grandmother died, it was left to all 5 of her children. I think only 2 of those are, no. Only 1 of her 5 children remain. My mother is gone. My uncle is gone. My other uncle is gone. My aunt is gone. So only 1 of those children remains. But one of those uncles bought out all of the other, all of his brothers and sisters. So it is totally his, or was totally his, and then he died last year. So if I were to win the lottery, I would want to buy that from my aunt, who is a lovely woman. Not always easy, but lovely and loving. And
I am freezing.
Uh-oh.
Check this out. That looks pretty good too, huh?
That's a nice color.
I've never been a pink and purple girl. But this has orange in it too. So
I have an orange Pfeiffer t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt. Yeah. I should wear it sometime. I might bring it to you. I don't remember what size it is. It's probably a men's large.
Yeah. That would be
but
yeah, I don't think I have any Pfeiffer shirts, or
I think that's
I did. I had a Pfeiffer ring I bought myself, and it was so pretty. And I got a peridot stone in it, which is not my birthstone, but I just loved it. and I've lost it out here in the yard ages ago when I was married. We lived in this that was when the trailer was only about 4 years old. Then Lindsay and I lived here until she was 4-ish. No, she was
So,
actually no, we moved here when she was 4. And so we lived here like 3 years because when she was 7, then Ron and I got married. And then we moved it was still in Faith in a housing development, but then we rented this mobile home out. And
Jackie says she lives in a mobile home and loves it.
I do too. Even though this
Nana
one's
and
older, it needs some stuff done to it. But now since I've got my
do you know
social
I have seen some mobile homes driving past the lots
mm-hmm.
that look gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
They look like tiny houses that
Yeah.
you would have built. And I wouldn't mind living in some of those. So yeah, I would if I could get a hold of that lot and then work on the plumbing and electric and everything and get and just put that mobile home there.
Yeah.
I'd be fine because I'd be close to people and far away from people at the same time.
Yeah.
Which, as I was saying, I can't do here in Wilmington. Although I could probably find a rental mobile home unit somewhere around here because there are plenty of trailer parks.
Yeah. But you have to be careful about. We have 2 trailer parks and they are really shady looking. I mean, they've got some really pitiful looking places in there.
When I first came down here from New York, I was looking at living in Jacksonville because it's like 45 minutes away.
I
As
didn't
I
realize.
say,
Oh, you talking about Jacksonville, North Carolina?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's close, but also distant.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that Jacksonville would be perfect, and I thought the rents were good. And there was a mobile home for rent in an, a neighborhood that did not look shady, but because I had just moved and didn't have a job, they wouldn't even consider me.
Yeah.
I was at that time because I had just sold. Mike and I had just sold our co-op. So I had enough money to pay a year's rent up front, and they still wouldn't consider me.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
But it would have been nice. But it didn't happen. And I wound up down here in Wilmington, just a mile away from my mother. And then I moved out of that apartment and into my mother's house. And then things happened. And here we are now.
All right.
As they say in the opera world, opera things happened. Yes. And in some ways, parts of my life have that sort of operatic or operatic scale to them. Or maybe it's just my ego. Because my ego has that kind of operatic scale to it. I'll tell you that. You know that already. Ah!
Ta-da!
That's nice. What's the yarn you're using there? Moss stitch, of course.
It is
Nice.
in the color Shopping Spree.
And is that a 5 or 6 weight?
It's a 4.
Is it a 4? Doesn't look like a 4 with
because you use a G hook with it.
A G hook?
That's what I'm using.
I would probably use an H or an I.
I
A
probably would
4.
have too, but I just started using a G because it's what I had close by when I was. Yeah, it says for knitting needles like a size 5 to 5.5, but for crochet hooks it says G. Well, it says G to a K.
Well, that's a range there.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. But yeah, I usually go up, but it's still got a pretty good drape to it.
Yeah. I like to use an oversized hook to create a drape.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do with those 3 yarns I was showing, I'm going to cake them up and I'm going to triple strand them and make
The
one of
bandana
these.
kind of.
Yeah,
Cowl.
sort of a bandana cowl kind of thing.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, David, my darling, I got to get up and move around or I'm going to go to sleep. I'm sitting here going.
Oh, that's me every day, all the time.
Yeah,
I
I have
have
to get
fallen
up, move
asleep in this
around,
chair
and
before.
I got up really early. Well, 7-ish.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 5-ish, which is stupid because, well, I'll go to sleep. I don't sleep as much when I'm in here with the straight back chair where I'm often leaning up anyway. But even though my feet are up, I've got the ottoman and a pillow on top of that. But if I get in the recliner in the den, I'm gone.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just might as well
Honestly,
just not even pick up whatever because I won't get but like 2 stitches done and I'm just
I have had a better night's sleep in a recliner than in a bed.
well, I sleep on my
Many times.
couch in the den. I have a perfectly great bed. It's like brand new because I have when I was in the apartment I slept in it. But well, actually, I started sleeping on the couch in the apartment. That's how it got started because it was a small apartment and we didn't even have a TV in the bedroom, and the bedroom didn't even have a door on it. It's just all, kind of open.
Yeah.
I started sleeping on the couch there. And so when I sleep, I'm like in a recliner. I really cock up my head and then I have my feet up on pillows and stuff too.
Proverbs is here. Yeah.
Hey, Janie.
Now, when I was in New York, I had a teeny tiny studio apartment. And because I knew I would be moving, I bought myself a nice mattress set, box springs.
Yeah, my mattress is really good, and I've got one of those, the memory foam, like a 2-inch memory foam one, but it kills my hips.
Does it?
Imagine if I, got used to it. Dana said I look bougie. Look, Dana, I finished my hat. I don't know why, but it turned out so much. Look how big these are. And look at this.
And you are going to make me another one just like it, right?
Heck, I might just take this one right off my head and let you have this one.
But
unless you want it bigger.
I don't know. Well, everyone says I have a big head, but I don't think they're talking physically. But so yeah, I had
Dana wants this one.
Well, that's nice too. I like it. Yeah. I'm not a pom-pom kind of guy. But so I got this nice mattress set when I was living in this teeny tiny studio apartment. But then I moved into a different place and it worked out very, very well. I had that mattress set for 15, 20 years. Actually, I think Mike still has that mattress set
Wow.
and is sleeping on it because, of course, we parted up our
That
belongings.
I had never had a
No,
whole bedroom suit that
honestly,
matched, and when I was in the apartment, I had enough room back there to get one. So it was a huge dresser with a huge mirror and the chest of drawers and the nightstands and all that stuff. And now I couldn't get the dresser wouldn't fit in the little bedroom that's the big bedroom. This is the little bedroom. So it's in the den, and I use it as the TV table. And what's in the drawers? Whips. And all those drawers. And
actually, now that I think about it, Mike does not have that mattress set. I sort of wish he did because I brought it with me to Wilmington, now that I recall. And then when I moved from that apartment into my mother's house, I donated it. But that was like 15 years, and that mattress was still so comfortable.
and I didn't spend a whole lot for the mattress set, but when I put that memory foam thing on it, it just made a world of difference. But still, it just killed my hips for whatever reason. But
they do. Honestly, I might,
and my couch,
if I ever have a place of my own, I might just get, a nice lazy boy recliner, and sleep on it. Hey, Yarn
that's
Bar.
what I've got. I don't think it's a brand specifically. I got it at Goodwill in Concord, my recliner, but it's one of those great big oversized ones, and it's I got it for a song, and it's nice. I think it's pleather, but I mean, it looks like the real deal, and it's held up great.
And honestly, when
Hey, Yarn Barf. Hey, Tina. Hey, Ariel. Hey, everybody.
before I went into the hospital the first time, I was sleeping on that recliner, and it was much better than like just a plain mattress on the floor, which is what I had in this very room.
I can't do
at the
well,
time.
it depends on the mattress.
Well, my mother was still alive. She was in the master, and my sister was in the front room.
So when you moved back home, your mom was still living?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I was in the hospital, that time was when she herself, I think.
But was that when you were in Texas?
No,
Yeah.
I had not yet gone to Texas. But she was in a rehab facility, and she took a fall and went to the hospital. And I think she picked up an infection in the hospital.
Yeah, I heard you say.
That's what did her in.
See, I'm scared to death to have this. And I've had hernia surgeries before. It's no big deal. I mean, they are hell to wake up from because the pain is awful. But so I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm looking forward to what you can pick up in the hospital.
I had bariatric surgery, and then I had 2 cosmetic surgeries. The cosmetic surgeries were much, much more painful than the bariatric surgery. And the bariatric surgery, they opened me up and they were looking at my insides completely. Because
I had mine was arthroscopically, but the hernia surgery, I had a great big, they called it a paraesophageal, where part of my stomach had punched up through my diaphragm and was lying against my esophagus. And when I would eat, something about you've got a nerve that goes from wherever that was all happening to up here on my shoulder, and it would cause me shoulder pain. It was so weird. And because I was really big, I was 289.
Exactly. And I get acid reflux like right here where the
Yeah, and so
esophagus
when I would
is.
eat, it would hurt, like everything just like throb, and shoulder was where it, the pain manifested itself. And when I
Yeah.
would lie down to sleep at night, and they thought it was my heart at first because of my size and everything, but whenever they really put you through the meal before you have that gas, the Roux is what I had. So
I had a duodenal switch, which is basically a more drastic version of the RNY.
yeah.
Um, um, I don't
But it
regret it
just
a
threw my
bit.
timetable all off because I was still teaching and I had it timed out where I had it early. I was going to have the surgery early in the summer, have time to recover, and be fine to start the next year. Well, I had to have the hernia surgery first and heal from that, then have the Roux. And so my kids started the school year with a substitute for the first 6 weeks, and I really went back earlier than I was supposed to have, but
I've forgotten. Tell me again what grade level you were teaching.
4th. I
I
had
was
taught middle school for the first 12 years, but then
I
when I
was
went to little faith school, I taught 4th grade, and that was my grade. I loved that age child, 9 and 10.
I was just thinking of my 4th grade teacher, Miss Ames. And the other 4th grade teacher was Miss Niss, Kniss, Miss Niss. And so when I was in the 4th grade, I would for reading groups, I was in the reading group that went over to Miss Niss. And then, some of her kids would come over to Miss Ames. And there was a 3rd, 4th grade teacher. I don't remember. It might have been my
Yeah, we
mother.
had 3 4th grade. Most of the time, there was 3 of us.
I
And the
think at
lady
that
that
time, my
taught
mother,
my kids, the substitute that had my class, I felt really good about because she retired from having taught 4th grade for over 30 years.
Miss Ames, a perfectly lovely woman. Nowadays, we would call her a very sturdy woman, sort of a librarian type.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about her personal life. My mother taught at the same school, so I knew
What
more
grade did
of.
your mom have?
I think at that time she was also teaching 4th grade. I don't remember exactly. She might have been teaching 5th at that time. I don't
And
remember.
that was the school where I went to elementary school. And it went up to 6th grade when I went there.
Exactly. When I was a kid, elementary went
And I
kindergarten
didn't go to
through 6th.
kindergarten. They didn't have kindergarten when I went there. You started in 1st grade.
My
If
kindergarten
you went to
teacher,
a kindergarten, it was like a private kind of thing, like at a church or whatever.
I
Um,
my in kindergarten, we lived in one neighborhood, and my teacher was Mrs. something. Anyway, years and years later, when I was in Florida, I met someone who claimed to have married her daughter and knew her. I don't know if that was true, but then we moved to the neighborhood where we were in the school where my mother taught. And the only reason my mother got this teaching job, because there were not many teaching jobs around at that time, but
the early 80s when I came out, and I said I graduated in 82. That's not right. That's when Lindsay was born. I graduated in 84.
this was the late 60s.
Oh, okay. But there was a surplus
So,
of teachers in the early 80s, and I was an assistant at Rockwell Elementary
so
for
we
almost a year
we had
before.
moved to Minnesota because my dad had gotten a corporate transfer. And so my mother got this job because the fourth grade teacher that she was replacing got drafted. He was a man who got drafted. So she took over from him. And then we moved into that neighborhood, and so I was there, and for maybe a month, the last month or two of the year, and my teacher there was Mrs. Crouch. And I remember she drove a 66 Impala station wagon that was fire engine red.
We had some bougie fifth grade teachers. Miss Miller, she drove some kind of convertible. But she was all with the long hair and the long fingernails and skinny thing. And
I've always loved cars. My first grade teacher was Miss Kinzer, and she had a Nova. My second grade teacher was Miss Fossum, who was in my mother's bridge group. So sometimes they would meet at our house. So I mean, because my mother taught there, I learned an awful lot about these people that other students didn't know. So Miss Kinzer.
Yeah. And both my daughters went to school there too. But by that time, of course, they had kindergarten, and sixth grade had moved up to middle school.
My third grade teacher was Miss Geitzenauer, and she
Tina's asking how you're doing.
Oh, well, I seem to be doing pretty well, Tina. Pretty well here, I guess.
I said I was leaving, and then we just talking away.
I know. Well, it's fun, isn't it?
It is, but I do have to go now. I got to visit the little girl's room. Oh.
Well, make sure your legs work before you stand up.
I know. You know how that is.
Oh, believe you me, I do.
Yeah. I have to get these legs working. The feet and the legs. I love you, darling.
You too.
Hope to see you soon.
Me too. I really want, as soon as possible, as soon as Anne is able to host again, then I will be up there. And I want to have some sort of a gathering with you and Ezra. I have not heard from Ezra in
I hadn't heard from her since we saw her last, and that's been a good while.
Him. Sorry. And them, actually, probably. You never know about pronouns nowadays. And then there are other people in the area. Leanne has said she might drive up to Charlotte when next time I'm there to meet up with us. And
where does she live? I would ask that, huh?
I don't know. I think she said it's like 2.5 hours away.
Oh, really?
She's in South Carolina. I can't remember the town. And then there's Cynthia, who lives in Newberry, South Carolina, which is also like 2.5 or 3 hours away. I would love to meet up with her. So many people. So we have to plan something.
Maybe in the spring when it's a little bit warmer.
We have to have our own North and South Carolina yarn event.
Yeah. That would be fabulous.
And since I know so many church musicians, I could probably find a fellowship hall for us to hang out in. Or we could go to Pfeiffer.
Hey.
They'd probably charge us a fortune. You know how they are.
Because they need it.
They do.
Okay, darling, I really am going this time. Love you bunches.
Okay. I'm gonna sign off myself.
How are you? Okay.
So,
bye, darling.
Bye-bye. So I'm going to sign off also. Thank you all for joining me and sticking with me all this time. And thank you if you're watching the replay. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, share, and keep coming back. Bye-bye now.